Hello everyone, it's Diabetic Danica, and welcome to the live stream. I'm a little bit earlier. I scheduled it for 8:30, but it's 8:22, so what are you gonna do? Well, I'm talking a little bit quiet because I haven't told my new roommates about YouTube yet. So I'm trying not to yell, basically. But let me just quickly tweet and Facebook the link. Because if you're watching now, you're a little bit early, and I'll go do that so more people can know about it. 1 second. 1 second. A little bit. Alrighty then. Let's go copy. Let's go paste. Go Facebook. How's everybody doing? Are you having the best day ever? Ever, ever, ever? I hope so. Did anyone know what that song was? It was Just Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé. Okay. Come join me in the live stream. I wrote live streams. Okay. There's that. And now I'm just quickly going to tweet it. And then I'll just start talking until you guys ask me questions. That is how this works. Okay. To Twitter. To pasting. To tweeting. Come join me in the live stream. Singular, not plural. I feel like I'm talking really, really low. Okay, tweet that. Is this weird that I'm talking so low? Probably. Probably. I'll probably forget in a second and talk normal, but Running on Insulin said, don't be ashamed of your YouTube fame. I'm not ashamed. It's just we haven't had a lot of time to talk yet. So I'm not just going to randomly be like, hey, guess what I'm doing, you know? So yeah, that's how that is. But I'm just going to start talking now. And then if you have any questions for me, you can write them down below. I'm hoping the lighting will be okay. It's kind of getting dark, but I have a couple lights on. Wow, I just looked straight at my light. Oh, you know how when you look at a light and you see little dots? Oh gosh, it's what's happening to me now. Okay. Anyway, so if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments of this video, or you can tweet me if you want. I'll be checking that as well, and I will just answer your questions. But until more people come and ask questions, I'm just going to start rambling, because otherwise there would just be silence, and that would be weird. So, how you guys been? You've been good? I've been really good. Nursing school is coming to an end, kind of, and so it's really started to slow down a lot. I've probably said this a million times, but it's been really intense and really time-consuming, and I've just been nonstop busy basically since I started, and so it's really great that it's kind of slowing down a little bit, and I have just had more free time, especially this weekend. Like, this is the first weekend, I feel like, since nursing school started that I've actually had time to just do nothing, and it's awesome. Like, today was literally a nothing day. I slept in until noon, which I haven't done in so long. I can't even remember the last time I did that. And then I literally spent like 3 hours on our rooftop deck reading a book and drinking Diet Dr. Pepper and sunbathing, and I got incredibly sunburned, if you can see this. See, here's what happened, okay? Don't judge me. Basically, I went to the zoo all day, and I was in the sun all day, a different day, and I didn't get one speck of sunburn. And I was like, what is this? I'm so pale. I always get sunburned before I get tan. And so for some reason, I thought the sun was just different, or I was invincible now. And so I didn't wear sunscreen today because I'm like, I don't get burned apparently. And then I got super, super burned. But that's the price of sunshine, I guess. I don't know. Seems kind of worth it. I love sun. I was just so relaxed, and I just had no time commitments, nothing planned today. I have no homework today, which is so bizarre. I always have homework every weekend. So anyway, my point is I finally had a nothing day. And so that's kind of why I'm doing a live stream too, which I guess is planning something, but they're fun and they don't require any preparation on my part. I just kind of come on here and ask you to ask me questions. So also happy Memorial Day. I feel weird saying happy in front of Memorial Day just because it's like, it's not technically a happy thing. It's more of like an in memory thing. So if you're not from the US, it's just to remember the people that have served in our military and that have died. serving in our military. So it's kind of a remembrance thing, not so much a happy thing, but we get the day off and we can take time to remember that. So just thought I would say that, even though I feel weird saying Happy Memorial Day, but Happy Memorial Day. Let's see, what else is new? Maybe I should check if there's questions already, because you guys are probably like, yeah, let's get everything to with diabetes. What are you doing? Okay, Running on Insulin asked, have you learned anything you didn't know about diabetes management in school? I think I just learned more of the details of like the pathophysiology behind stuff. So, I mean, obviously management stuff I know already, but I learned more about, in this school and also in my undergrad, I learned more about the biomechanics, that's the wrong word, basically the tiny stuff that happens in your body. So like, for instance, I didn't used to know until undergrad that insulin helps you store fat and it helps you store muscle. What else did I learn? It's hard to go back and remember what I didn't know, you know what I mean? But, sorry, I just realized this was on pause. Okay, what didn't I know? There's definitely stuff. It's hard to remember right now. Nursing school is a freaking blur. But I guess I learned more about diabetes management in the hospital, and it's kind of different than diabetes management on your own in kind of a bad way. I don't know, like in the hospital, they seem to be really scared of low blood sugars, and that's valid, I guess, but I think they let people run a little bit too high sometimes. Like they always give insulin after meals, which makes sense because you can't guarantee that patient is going to eat a meal, and they don't want to give the insulin and then have the meal arrive late, stuff like that. But I mean, I personally wouldn't give insulin an hour after I ate a meal. I'm obviously going to spike crazy high. So that's kind of a different thing that you do in the hospital that you wouldn't do usually on your own unless you're like a kid or someone who gets really bad lows. But yeah, so that's one thing. I guess I just learned more about like the details of what high blood sugar actually does in your body, and how basically when there's a lot of sugar in your blood, it's literally breaking down everything it comes in contact with. So all the vessels that it's going through, it's kind of tearing them up. That's not a very scientific way to put it, but it's just really rough on all your little tiny, tiny body parts. Yeah, I'm sure there's more. So it's more like that kind of stuff, like the little details of what's actually happening in your body, and less of like things that you actually see as a person, like microscopic stuff, I guess. Redhead Ballerina 222 says, newly diagnosed, any advice? Basically, it's gonna get better. I know you've probably heard that like 12 million times, but it really does get better, at least for me. The first year actually was awful. It was a huge adjustment. I used to cry at every shot, every finger poke, and I used to wonder why me. And took me, I think, a year to give my own shot even. So it was a big deal, but it does get better, and you can do everything that you set your mind to for the most part, and you can like, I don't know, just like live a normal life as long as you're willing to do the work and take care of yourself and check your blood sugar and do all these extra things. So also my advice is to check out my YouTube channel because I say a lot of these things in the videos about like kind of just taking control of your life and not comparing yourself to people who don't have diabetes, and just focusing on what you have to do to keep yourself healthy. So that's kind of that. Vicky Ardley says, are you going to do more day in the life videos? I would love to. It's hard for me right now because, how do I explain this? So day in the life videos, obviously I carry my camera with me everywhere and I like hold it out like this, right? And I kind of don't live in the best area right now for school. So I'm not going to be doing that on the street, and I don't really have a car. Now I have a car. I just bought a car, but I can't drive it yet because I have to register it in my state, and I'm waiting for the license plates to come through the mail so I can put them on so I can drive it. So right now it's plateless. So what was I saying? Oh, so basically I could just vlog my whole day in my apartment. But that wouldn't be very exciting, and like I usually don't have a whole day of time that I can really commit to that, if that makes sense. So like I don't know, I'm just like in school all day, or I'm in clinical, or the weekend I'm doing homework and it's like not exciting enough to vlog. So it's stuff like that. But once I graduate, I'm planning on doing a lot of day in the life videos. I really like making them. They do take the longest, probably out of all the videos to make, because I take all day literally. But they are a lot of fun, and I enjoy like looking at them too, actually, because it helps me remember how that day was. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. The Gaming Panda says, I have the Dexcom G4. It plus an insulin pump. Is it any good? I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase your question? Do you mean the Animus Vibe? If so, it's real good. Let me just go back to Facebook real quick and check that. Just in case there's questions there. I don't know. I just want to cover it all. Okay, let me check Twitter as well. Anyway, I'm also starting a running thing. Basically, I gained a little winter weight, and I hate that. And like trying to put on my shorts now, I'm like, wow, these are a bit tighter than last year. So I'm trying to lose just a smidgen of weight. I'm not crazy or anything. I'm not like anorexic. I realize I'm not crazy overweight. I'm just saying there's a little bit of extra. And so I ran 3.1 miles yesterday, and I ran 3.1 miles on Friday. 5K, what? So I made like this calendar thing, and I'm going to write down every time I run and like how much I ran, so that I actually do it, because I want to do it every other day. And then I'm also running my weight for the week, so that hopefully I can get it back to where it usually is, and so that my shorts fit real good. That would be nice. They still fit, they're just like tight. So yeah, I'm planning on doing that. And the problem is I usually don't run until night. And like, that's not the best, because it's before I go to bed, and sometimes then I'm hungry afterwards and maybe I haven't had dinner, and so then I eat dinner, and I go to bed with a good PG, good blood sugar, but a lot of insulin on board and a lot of exercise on board, obviously, and I like don't know how my blood sugar is going to go, so basically I end up waking up a lot of the time in the middle of the night, going high and then low and then blah, blah, blah. It's so annoying, but I will get the hang of it, especially if I keep running consistently like I want to. So that's the funny thing about type 1 diabetes. People always say like, oh, diet and exercise will cure diabetes, and that can be true sometimes for type 2. But it's like, honestly, with type 1, sometimes exercise really screws up your numbers. And overall, it's a great thing because it does lower, or it increases your insulin sensitivity, and so it lowers the amount of insulin that you're using, and you can use insulin more efficiently and like all that great stuff. But in the here and now, like not the long term, it's like kind of makes it harder, right? But since it's long term better for your insulin needs, it's obviously still beneficial. But it's just kind of funny that actually like that exercise made me go crazy high and then crazy low, or crazy low and then crazy high, stuff like that. Anyway, that was the thought that I had. That it cures everything. Yeah. So let's go back to the video comments. Okay. Running on insulin, we got a lot of questions, yo. But I love it. Do you follow a specific diet, i.e. ketogenic, high carb, low carb, etc., or do you just eat normally? So here's the thing. I just eat normally, quote unquote, right now, but I'm really considering trying something else just because, okay, so right now I'm in nursing school, right? And it's only like a year of my life, and I don't eat the best right now because I'm kind of in a food desert a little bit. And like I said, I didn't have a car before, so it didn't seem worth it to spend all this time taking the bus to the grocery store to literally be able to buy enough food that I can carry, which means I have to go frequently just to get a little bit of healthier food. So I've just been grocery shopping at the local, like, it's not a convenience store. It's a little bit bigger than a convenience store, but it's like they have a very limited supply of fruits and vegetables and stuff. So anyway, it's not like super healthy, right? So I do the best I can though. Like I buy hummus and I buy like carrots and like some healthy stuff. But the point is, I don't have the option to just eat like all natural, all healthy. And this is a really long story for no reason. Okay, anyway. So my plan is, after I graduate nursing school and I have a little bit more time on my hands and I have more access to grocery stores, I want to try a more low-carb diet. Like, not 100% of the time necessarily, but I just kind of want to see, because right now my numbers have been really good, but a couple weeks ago, I was seeing a lot of spikes, and I was like, maybe I should be eating lower carb. I don't know. It really fluctuates for me. Like, sometimes I can eat normally as much carbs as I want, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just bolus ahead of time, and I really watch all my numbers, and it's fine, and I don't spike huge or anything like that. And then other times, I spike every single time, and I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know. I might just try that for a little bit just to see if it's like an amazing thing, and I don't even spike above like 180 all day. That would be really cool. But I don't know. We'll see. But basically, here's the problem too, is I don't like cooking. So I'm going to have to start liking that if I want to eat all natural. I don't know. And I feel like I wouldn't do it 100% of the time, because girls got to have her carbs. But just like trying more to eat less and like seeing if it actually makes a big difference, or if any amount of carb would just make my body be like, yo, what you doing? I don't know. So I'll let you know if that happens. But I got to graduate nursing school first, man. I'm just trying to survive right now. Emily Deaton says, advice on explaining medical conditions to new people. Your positivity is great. Wishing you well. Oh, thank you. Also, the smileys on this YouTube chat. I don't know if they look the same on your computer as my computer, but they're like huge and round and like, I don't know. They're really cute, but they're weird looking. Explaining medical conditions to new people. I'm assuming you mean just diabetes. That's the only medical condition I really have. But I usually just try to simplify it and try to say the stuff that's relevant to them. Like, obviously, I'm not going to get into like complications or like random crap they don't need to know. It's more just like, oh, I have type 1 diabetes. And basically what I do is I kind of leave it open to how much they actually want to know. So if it does come up and I'm like, oh, I have type 1 diabetes, I kind of wait and see if they want to know. Like, if they ask me questions, great. If they're not going to ask me questions, that's fine too. Like, it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. Like, if you want to know about it, I'll tell you all about it. Don't even worry about it. But if you don't, I'm not going to force it on you. So if they're like, oh, like, what is that? Or like, how'd you get that? When did you get that? How long have you had that? Usually it's, oh, like, how long have you had that? And I'm like, oh, I was diagnosed when I was 11. Like, you can tell they're kind of interested, right? And so you're like, you know, it was really hard at first, but now it's just kind of part of my life. So I have this insulin pump that gives me insulin every couple minutes. And then every time I eat, I tell it how many carbs I'm eating, and I get more insulin. And if they kind of ask, like, oh, so you can't have any sugar now, I'm just like, well, actually, that's mostly type 2 diabetes. So I explain the difference between the two. I explain that type 1 is an autoimmune disease, and I don't make any insulin, so I get it artificially. And then type 2 diabetes is sometimes, but not always, related to lifestyle and, you know, eating poorly, not exercising. And then it's an insulin insensitivity, which eventually can lead to no insulin production. Like, I don't know. You just basically go into how much detail they want to hear. And some people want to know a lot, and it's really cool. Like, I love it when someone is asking me a lot of questions about the CGM and the pump, and I'm like, wow, you care, woohoo. But if they don't, they don't. It's like, I'm cool with it. Doesn't matter. Kermie Frog says, hello. Hello. How much of it, oh, this is Andrea Zerny. How much of a necessity do you feel a CGM is? I got denied by my insurance for the Dexcom, and I'm not sure I want to fight for an appeal with my insurance because it can be emotionally exhausting. I personally think that it's really necessary, for me at least, because I honestly don't really feel my lows every time anymore unless it's really low. So right before I got my CGM, I went down to 28 before I went to bed, or not before I went to bed, middle of the night, I went to 28, and I didn't wake up until I was at 28. So I did wake up, thankfully, but it took me that long, you know what I'm saying? So like, I hit 70, which is low to me, and I went all the way down to 28 before I realized I was low, and that was really scary. And then also, when I got my CGM, my A1C dropped, I feel like, a lot. So I think it was like 2 months that I had had it, and it dropped from a 7.4 to a 6.9, which I feel like is a big change. And I was doing all the same stuff. You know, I just had more information to work with. And so it's like, if you don't have that information, it's hard to really make those changes. But when you have that information, you have an easier time timing your boluses. You have an easier time catching highs before they go too high, catching lows before they go too low. And so it's just really good for that. And it wakes you up in the middle of the night, obviously. so that you don't have any crazy, scary lows usually. What was it, I think? Oh, trends. So the arrows are really helpful because there's a big difference of being 80, for instance, and having a straight arrow compared to 80 and a straight down arrow. Like, you're going to act differently based on those arrows. And so that's kind of where the Dexcom really helps. So I personally would fight for it, but it's really a personal decision. Some people, I guess, the Dexcom is just too much information for them and it's kind of overwhelming. So it kind of depends on your preference, but I personally think it's so beneficial and I would never want to not have it. So hopefully that kind of helps. Dave Type 1 says, have you ever had one of those days where you forgot your diabetes at home? Mine decided to stay in bed the other day. I had 2 Cokes and a grape soda at work last week. My BG was 80 to 130 all day. What? I can't tell if your second 2 sentences are related to your first 2 sentences or not. What do you mean forgot your diabetes at home? At first I thought you meant like forgot all your supplies or something. Like you're like, oh, I guess I don't have diabetes today. Whoops, I totally forgot I even had to bring my meter or my insulin. But maybe you meant you just did whatever you wanted. I don't know, man. Clarify your question. That's crazy that you were 80 to 130 when you had actual soda. Because that's one thing I stay away from is real soda because it's not worth it to me. Like, I like the taste of diet soda and it doesn't make me spike. So I'm like, woohoo. Matthias Juarez says, hi, a big huff from an Argentine colleague. I don't know what a huff is, but I'm going to assume it means hi. Well, how many carbs do you eat a day? That's a good question. I don't know. Let me see how many units I gave you yesterday. History, total daily dose. Yesterday I gave, it really varies. I gave 28 units of bolus. But that could have been correction too, but that's like 280 carbs for me. Wow, that sounds like a lot when I add it all up like that. Is that like every day though? Yesterday was a weekend, so. Other days are like 22, 18, 26, I don't know. A lot. Not a tiny amount, that's for sure. Oh, people are just putting a bunch of smileys. Isn't that so cute? You must have heard me say how they were so cute and chubby at the bottom. They're adorable. Hi, Martin Lorca. Thanks for all the smileys, you guys. Type 1D Dancer says, I know that flying affects my blood sugar really bad and I go crazy high. Do you? No. What? No, not usually. It doesn't really affect my blood sugar, I feel like. Basically, if there's a long flight, I guess it could just from not moving a lot, but I haven't really noticed a difference. I sometimes will go low at baggage claim. Like, some people say it's from the change in pressure and it makes your insulin come out more in your pump. But I don't really think that's true. I don't know. They basically proved it by showing the end of a pump tubing and they had it up like this. And then they showed the insulin coming out like while they were landing. They're like, oh, the pressure's changing, it's coming out. And while the pressure probably is changing, it's coming out because it's open though. And if it's in your body, it's a closed system, right? And so I think the air wouldn't really affect it, right? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I'm just saying. I think I go low because I am pulling my suitcase out from the overhead bin and like getting all my stuff and like having to trek through the airport and like wait for my bag. I don't know, that's just my thing. But yeah, I usually go low when I'm going to get my bags and I don't really go high in the flight. I wonder why you do. I don't know. Sometimes I'll go low in the flight too and I'm like, I gotta find some snacks. Faith Surf says, what are the symptoms of diabetes? My symptoms were I lost a lot of weight, first of all. I think I lost like 25 or 30 pounds, something around there, very quickly. I was peeing a lot. I was drinking a lot of water. And I was also, some people say that it's an increase in appetite, but I actually lost my appetite. Like, I wasn't hungry at all. I remember making a sandwich and then eating like very little of it. So those are my symptoms. Other ones are like blurry vision, other stuff. Whew, sorry. Whew. Let's see what else. This is weird because when I scroll in the comments, it updates and then it's like, you can't see it. Jack Connolly says, I've been a vegetarian for about 1 year, and I was wondering about your opinions on vegetarianism with T1D. Haven't really thought about it, honestly. I'm not interested in being a vegetarian, but I'm sure, I guess the only way I could see it affecting diabetes is that meat is very low carb, and so it's kind of nice to be able to have that because it's a good low carb option. And if you're not having meat, you're probably having like beans or something, which are kind of high carb. But the good thing about beans is they also have a lot of protein, obviously, and so it kind of helps your blood sugar do this and not have a big spike. So I don't know. I mean, you would probably be able to tell me more than me tell you about how it affects diabetes. How does it affect diabetes? Let me know. Gerpers, don't know how to say your name, says, what do you do at parties? Do you drink alcohol? I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I'm just not into it. I don't think it tastes the best. And I just personally, I'm going to do a video on drinking eventually, but I just don't think it's safe for me to get drunk. So I don't. Just because, like, hypothetically, I've said this before, but hypothetically, if I passed out or something, everyone would just think, oh, she's wasted, you know? And it could have been my diabetes, and nobody would probably intervene. So that's really scary to me. And even if I don't pass out, even if I'm just really drunk, I think I would just be scared since I'm the one who has to take care of my diabetes. If I'm intoxicated, I'm not going to be able to do that. And so who's going to take care of my diabetes? No one. So, and drinking a lot can really cause you to have some crazy lows. So I definitely limit alcohol a lot for diabetes reasons and also just for personal reasons. But I will have 1 or 2 drinks, and I always eat with it because of the lows that it can cause and just kind of monitor my blood sugar. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, Medtronic has a daily carb feature, you say? That's cool. I don't always put in my carbs, though, because I have a 1 to 10 ratio, and so I usually just do it in my head and just put it in. I don't really like say, like, oh, I'm having 23 carbs, just so it can tell me to give 2.3 units, but that's still cool. Running on Insulin says, have you ever been in ketoacidosis or had large ketones? I have never had really large ketones aside from diagnosis. And my BG can be anywhere from 15 to 32, which is the other way, millimoles per liter, which I don't really know what that translates to. Let me look that up real quick. I know that's high, but I don't know what that is in milligrams per deciliter. Milligrams per deciliter. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out. Conversion. Okay, what was it? 15 to 32? Wow, that did not work at all. It put the 15 in the millimoles and the 32 in the mg. Oh, that's 60? That's not true. Okay, this is not working. This is the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm just gonna assume that's high. Forget it, whatever. I've never been in ketoacidosis, which I'm like pretty thankful for. I've actually never been hospitalized for diabetes other than diagnosis, which I think is pretty cool because I've been diabetic for almost 11 years. So I figure that's an accomplishment. Yay, yay, yay. I have had ketones though. I think I've had large ketones. I was sick like with a stomach thing a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure I had ketones, but I like wasn't high. It was the weirdest thing, and it was the hardest thing to treat because like I had to give insulin for the ketones, but I wasn't high, and it was like this bizarre thing. I'm also planning to do a sick day video, but I'm waiting until I'm with my mom because she took care of that sickness, and she would be able to give some good insight. So yeah, but I've never been in ketoacidosis, thankfully. But I have had large ketones. They were just like short term, so it didn't lead to ketoacidosis, which I'm really thankful for. So yeah, Kermie Frog. Your name is so cute, by the way. Little Kermie Frog. And it updated again. Have you ever had issues with different types of insulin? I used to get a burning sensation with Humalog, mentioned it to my doctor, and I got switched to Nova Rapid, which was fine. As far as burning, I only had Lantus that burned, but that's normal. Lantus is more acidic, so it does burn. I have had issues. I made a whole video about Apidra and how at first it looked really well for me and it was a lot quicker, and then it wasn't working. I was spiking a lot after every meal and it was really bad. So sorry, I just got really thirsty. So I switched to Novolog and then it's been working well from there. So I guess, but I also used to be on Humalog, so I think insulin's kind of work for a little bit, and then I kind of switch and just kind of mix it up, and it's better for me, I guess. At least that was true with the Peter Novolog. I don't really remember why I switched from vlog, but yeah. Oh, running on insulin said that flying is anxiety producing and stressful, so their blood sugar goes up because of that. That makes sense. Flying really isn't that stressful for me. I mean, I get a little bit stressed in terms of like, I want to be there on time. I want to have enough time to get on the airplane. I want to have a space for my bag, like stuff like that. I worry a little bit that I like won't be there in time or that there won't be any space for my bag. But for the most part, I'm just like kind of used to it. I've been flying a lot recently, so I don't know. I think that was running on insulin. Is that the person you said about vegetarian? No, that was Jack Connolly. Sorry. I have to keep it straight. It seemed like you were the person that was vegetarian. Anyway, Anita T says, hi, Danica. Hey, does insulin cause weight gain, or is the insulin making me super hungry that causes the weight gain? Thanks. Insulin technically does cause weight gain. Insulin, one of the functions of insulin is that it helps you store muscle and it helps you store fat. So when you're injecting insulin, you just store fat easier, I guess, especially if you take more insulin. So if you're eating a lot, not only are you going to gain weight from eating a lot, obviously, but you're giving a lot of insulin, and so that also stores more fat. So people sometimes, after they get the pump for the first time, they'll gain some weight because I think part of it is it's a lot easier to just eat a lot of food because you just push some buttons and you don't have to give a shot or anything. But then also when you're doing that, eating more, you're injecting more insulin. So hopefully that makes sense. Running on insulin says, I've been on a vegetarian diet for a bit now, and I find it actually helps my BG because of the high fiber. Granted, I also limit processed vegetarian foods, so mainly fruits and veggies, nuts, and seeds. Okay, I could see that. You limit the processed stuff. Okay. Yeah, I see definitely how the fiber would help. Fiber helps, along with the protein, to kind of stop any big spikes in blood sugar. I don't think I could ever be vegetarian personally, but I'm glad that it helps with blood sugar for sure. Jack Connolly said the same thing. Being vegetarian has made his appetite better, but that could just be a better insulin regime. Redhead Ballerina 222 said, what do you recommend to eat for low BG during exercise? I definitely prefer juice, especially if I'm currently exercising. Well, I'd have to stop, obviously, if I was low, but if I'm about to go exercise or I just came back, I prefer like a juice or a Gatorade because you don't want to be like eating something before you go for a run. And it's also the quickest. So definitely something like that. You can also do glucose tabs. I personally just really dislike glucose tabs. I think it tastes like chalk. So scented chalk. Scented? No. What's the word for when there's paste added? Flavored chalk. But yeah, juice is like the best. It's the best. Constance Jeanette Henderson says, do you know anything about the honeymoon phase? Mine has lasted for 11 months now with me managing my type 1 diabetes with Lantus and diet and exercise only. I haven't found anyone with a similar experience. I do know about the honeymoon phase. I think everyone basically, unless you don't catch your diabetes very early, everyone pretty much has a honeymoon phase, and that just means that you're still producing a little bit of insulin. So I have heard that it can last like up to a year. So 11 months I think is fine. Like, it's not the most common probably, but it definitely happens. And just savor that, savor that time when you don't have to give very much insulin and you can just kind of have an easier time. And then once the honeymoon phase ends, it's kind of like you have to readjust everything, and yeah, it's different. But yeah, okay. Type 1 diabetes says that their dang it updated again. There we go. That their honeymoon only lasted 2 months, and they say I killed my beta cells super fast with lots of pizza. That's awesome. Oh, Jack Connolly's lasted 1.5 years. I love how you guys are responding to each other in the comments. That makes me super happy. That's really cool. Emily says that she didn't know I was doing this today, so she came halfway through. No worries, this is a casual thing. I'm just answering questions. You can come and go whenever you please. And it's also recorded, by the way, so it'll be up later as well. Next question. Don't know about that. Would you be comfortable showing what your average total daily dose is? I would. I almost said would not, and then I would. I already did share a little bit. I guess not the whole dose, though. It doesn't really matter to me, honestly. Yesterday I gave a lot. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I don't remember. Oh, I went shopping. Yesterday was 45. The day before that it was 50, 45, 47, 41, 44, 39, 43, 49, 46, 43, 52. So obviously 41. It fluctuates based on just what I'm eating and like how many carbs it has and how much I'm exercising. So I'm like reducing my insulin and stuff like that. So definitely varies. Do you find weight changes as it goes up or down? I haven't tracked it that closely, but I'm sure when I'm eating more, I'm gaining more weight. Just kind of makes sense. But I haven't actually looked at like, oh, I wonder what my total daily dose is today. It's not really like that. Running on Insulin says they're all about the coconut water for a low, but that's an acquired taste. I don't think I've ever had coconut water. It sounds amazing though. It sounds really good. How many carbs is in like 8 ounces of that? Is it like juice? Is it normal? I don't know. They also say poof of sugar smoke during class. It's awkward. It's like if you open your glucose tabs in class and it's like a poof of powder. I get you. Let's see. Jack Connolly says, have you heard of the X-Strip Night Watch combo that allows Dexcom Share to be on Android Wear? I now have my BG on my Moto 360 watch with little to no lag. Definitely heard of Night Watch and like the CGM in the cloud, and I've seen that in person. I saw, I think Scott Johnson had it, and also I can't remember her name right now, but another diabetes blogger that I met when I was on the Asante Diabetes Advisory Board. Poor Asante is no more. I was so sad about that, by the way. Side note, I already posted about this, but when Asante closed, I was like, no. I don't know. Basically, we were going to have another meeting of the diabetes advocates thing, which is basically just diabetes bloggers coming together and they're talking to real diabetics about what they would want in a pump, stuff like that. And it was really cool. And I was really sick for the first meeting. And so we were going to have another meeting in March, but I never got an email asking me to go. And I was like, oh, I think I blew it. I think I didn't participate enough in the first one because I was feeling so crappy and they just kind of decided to like not invite me again. That's what I thought was going on. And then I heard that they actually were closed. And I was like, oh, they probably just were focused on saving the company and not having an advocates advisory board. So that was really sad. I hope they had some great ideas. They had some really innovative stuff. So I really hope that they pass on those ideas to other pump companies and sell them because I would love to see those in a pump. I can't say what they were specifically because it's confidential, but they were really cool. So anyway, back to the question though, the Night Watch combo. I think the one I saw, it was like the Dexcom sent the information to a phone, but it had to be different than your regular phone. It had to constantly be on internet and be on a certain app, and then it could send to a Pebble watch thing or something like that. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about. It might be different. But that's cool. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to carry, at least for this one, there's like an extra phone and a Dexcom and the watch. I can just look on my pump and that's fine. But I do think Dexcom Share is cool, but I really wish you didn't have to have the receiver. I really wish it just went to the phone. I know it's going to eventually, but I don't think I would get it until it did that. Amanda Brindle says, have you ever lost any of your supplies? What would you do if you did? I've had my supplies stolen before. I was at an amusement park, and it's actually my mom's work picnic thing, like end of the year, it's summertime work picnic thing. And excuse me, geez, the water. I put my purse under a table, and my mom was kind of around, and she's gonna like keep an eye on it. And it was kind of like a family place. I didn't really think anything was gonna happen. And then, you know, obviously she wasn't staring at it 24/7. That's not her job. But it got stolen. And, you know, it looks like a purse, but really it was just full of my diabetes supplies. I was like a kid at the time, so I didn't have any money. But I did have a cell phone in there. So, yeah, we were just talking about how I bet that person who stole that purse felt pretty bad about themselves when they opened it up and found insulin, syringes, test strips, a meter, like all these medical supplies. They must have felt like crap. So That's what you get for stealing. But thankfully, I didn't put my pump in there. I was actually thinking about, I had read that you shouldn't wear pumps on roller coasters, and I was like, oh, maybe I should take it off and like put it in my purse. But I decided against it, and I'm so glad I did, because then my pump would have been stolen and I would have been out like $8,000 or whatever it is. Or maybe they have a warranty for that. I don't know. It would have been bad. But thankfully that didn't happen. And I do still I wear my pump on all rides. Haven't noticed anything crazy happen because of it. And I just kind of monitor my blood sugars and call it good. Yeah, that's the story of that. Coconut water is 11 grams a serving. So that's kind of low. Is the serving 8 ounces? I guess that could be good for like when you're not that low. Okay, 11 carbs in an 8-ounce serving. I guess that could be okay. It's a bit on the low side, but I could handle it. I can manage. I should try it. Gerper said, would you ever consider getting a diabetes alert dog? Diabetes alert dog. I think diabetes alert dogs are really cool, but I don't think, like honestly, my personality, I just wouldn't want a dog with me all the time, because I think it's like people are just going to stare at me and ask me questions about the dog 24/7, and it's just like, I'm sure it'd be fun for a little bit, but then it'd just be kind of like, all right, like I'm a person, like look at me, talk to me, you know what I mean? But I think they're really great for people who can't feel their lows and maybe can't get a Dexcom. I don't know, I just feel like the diabetes alert dog, for me personally, is like a Dexcom, but you have to feed it and you have to pick up its poop and take care of it, instead of just like charging it, you know, like a Dexcom, you just charge it. But it's cool though. I definitely want a dog. I like have major puppy fever right now. I want a little Maltipoo, which is a Maltese and a poodle. And I just know dogs in general can sometimes sense how you're feeling, and so I think it'd be cool if like it came up to me and was like, hey, you're low or something. But I think if I did get like an actual diabetes alert dog that was trained to do that, I don't think I would take it everywhere with me. I think I would like it if I was living alone, and it would just kind of be an extra security feature for when I'm sleeping or something like that. But I don't think I would take it with me everywhere, just because that's not like my personality. But I mean, I think they're really cool, and I think it's amazing that dogs can even do that. Like, if you don't know, they smell in your sweat if you're low or high, and then they alert you, so they'll sometimes they like go down for low and then like come up for high or something. I don't know. It's really cool. I like it, but I probably wouldn't get one and actually take it everywhere for just personal reasons. Yeah. Salvador Diaz says, how long did it take you to get a Dexcom? I submitted all the forms about my insurance and doctor yesterday. Yesterday? Too recent. You're going to wait a little bit. I don't remember the exact time, but it definitely takes some time. They have to approve it. They have to make sure they want to pay for it, because it is very expensive. And when I was getting my pump, they actually like said no at first, and we had to fight for it. So just like expect it to take some time. And then if it takes less time, then that's great, you know? It'll be a great surprise, but it definitely can take a little bit of time. I would say a couple months, but I don't actually remember. Type 1D Dancer says, my parents do night scout for me. It works on a Pebble Watch. I heard that Dexcom share went down for like 6 hours on Thursday. What? How does Dexcom share go down? That's kind of scary. The thing I like about Dexcom share is like for kids. So if your kid's at school and they have a Dexcom, then they're seeing the numbers in the Dexcom, and then it's also sending to your phone, and like you're at work and it's lunchtime, you're like, I wonder what my kid's blood sugar is. It's like super cool for that, right? I think that's awesome. But if it goes down for 6 hours, I feel like if I was a parent, I would be very worried about my child if I was used to seeing their blood sugar all day. That's crazy. I'm glad they got it back up, it sounds like, though. I hope. Type 1 diabetes. Would you consider getting a watch that shows your blood sugar levels, or are you happy enough with your CPM? I don't really wear watches except for in clinical, just because I don't like it that much. So I don't think I would. I think I would just prefer to pull something out. It'd be cool to just like turn my wrist and see my blood sugar, I guess, but it's really not that much harder to just pull something out. So I think I wouldn't probably wear it. That's just me. Gringos. Why is that your username? Says, hello, I am Brazil. I'm assuming that means you're Brazilian. Hello, I'm one of my really good friends here in nursing school is Brazilian too. Cool. Ulta Blue 999 says, do you usually wear a medical ID, and has it ever helped you? I wear my bracelet practically every day, unless I forget. I usually do. I'm not right now, obviously. I don't know. I like did for a long time, and then I kind of just stopped. I don't know why. Why am I not wearing one? To answer your other question, it hasn't come in handy yet, but I think it's definitely a good idea because if I ever did pass out for any reason, I would want people to know that it was because of diabetes most likely, and I'd be able to get the help that I need. I think it's totally worth it to wear it so that if something did happen, it would be okay, you know? But I just got lazy, I guess. I'm not wearing one right now. It's weird. Why aren't I wearing one? I think also I haven't found the perfect bracelet yet. Like, basically, if I buy, okay, so I wore rubber ones for a long time, and I felt like that was kind of childish. Like, I'm older now. I'm like 23 years old. I was like, I gotta find one that's cuter. So I bought one that was really cute from, what's that brand called? You know, that really cute medical ID store? Lauren's Hope. And I really liked it. It was like the cutest thing ever. And then it broke and I lost it. It fell off or something. I don't know. I looked everywhere for it because it was really expensive. Like Lauren's Hope is really cool. I love their products, but they're really expensive and mine broke and fell off. So basically, it's the rubber ones, which I feel like are a little bit childish for me. It's the cute ones that break, or it's my industrial one, which I got to be like sturdy, but it's not the cutest. And it's like, do I want to wear this every day? I don't know. So I don't know. I guess I'm still looking for the perfect one, but I should definitely be wearing it always. I got lazy. And now talking about it, I feel like I should put one on. So I probably will right after this video. Yeah. Let's see. Running on insulin says, pregnancy? I know you're probably not in that frame of mind, but maybe you have some school knowledge. Aside from lowering A1C, what else is needed before getting pregnant? You're right, I'm not in that frame of mind, but I did learn about pregnancy. In school, I took a whole OB class. We had an OB rotation, and we had this whole section about diabetes and pregnancy. I don't remember all the details specifically because basically your insulin needs change. So I believe, basically the main thing I can tell you about diabetes and pregnancy is if you're thinking about getting pregnant, you should go to your doctor, number one, first of all, so they can look at your A1Cs and talk through the details of like what your body goes through as a diabetic. But then also what I think happens, if I remember correctly, is that I think at first your insulin needs really, really lower. And so you don't need a lot of insulin, so you're going low basically if you're not adjusting for that. And then I think they just increase a lot, like you need more and more insulin because you have a baby growing inside of you. And then right after you give birth, the hormones change and you don't need very much insulin at all. I think that's how it went. But definitely talk to your doctor. It is really important that your A1C be low because if you're running high a lot, it's really, really bad for the baby. A lot of the times if the mom has high blood sugar a lot, like all the time, the baby can come out with a lot of fat, like especially in its shoulders area and its like head area. And basically it can lead to them getting diabetes later because when your blood sugar is high a lot, your baby's pancreas is like spitting out insulin too, and it's like trying to compensate for that. And so the pancreas gets exhausted or whatever you want to call it. So later in life, it can like develop type 2 diabetes, which is like pretty sad. So it's definitely important to keep it lower. And I had a friend that was pregnant who actually asked, or I was going to ask if she wanted to do a video on it because she's diabetic and she had a baby and I have not. So I don't really have experience, but she said your range basically that you're supposed to be in changes when you're pregnant as well. So the doctor actually wants you to run lower because baby's blood sugar actually does run lower and that's normal. That's like good. Like if they were 60, I think that's still good. I don't remember the exact numbers, but their good numbers are what we would consider low. So you want to run lower as well to help your baby have that blood sugar. So there's definitely a lot of extra stuff you have to do when you're giving birth. You also obviously have to be monitored. And I think the doctor and stuff take care of your insulin and all that. So it's definitely some extra stuff. You can definitely still have a baby and get pregnant if you're taking care of your diabetes and have a healthy baby. You just have to, you know, try really hard to keep your blood sugars in range. So yeah, hopefully that kind of gave some information. Jack Connolly said the biggest difference between diabetes alert dog and a normal dog is a couple $1,000s. LOL. Yes, it is. And a lot of training, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be crazy expensive. I just want a dog to cuddle, and that's about it. But it's cool that they can do that for sure. Nice. Type 1 diabetes says a Dexcom is equal to a Tamagotchi, whereas a real dog is like a real dog. So it's a lot of time and effort. I go for the Tamagotchi. That's a good analogy, definitely. I was saying like the Dexcom is just a lot easier to take care of. It's like a Tamagotchi. You just like push the buttons on it, whereas a real dog, you gotta like do stuff, you know? It's crazy. Martin Lorca said Dexcom didn't just go down, it was programmed. Oh, well, that's scary then. At least they told you, I guess, that it was happening. I don't know. Those smileys, I can't handle it. It's too cute. They're so weird looking. Ann Carr says, I love you. I love you too. Running on Insulin says, I wear a medical alert necklace because I'm forgetful and I'm less likely to take it off. I've never tried a medical alert bracelet or necklace. I feel like I should. I feel like it'd be more annoying. Like, I think I would notice it more, but maybe not if I just like put it under my clothes. Maybe I wouldn't notice. I don't know. I feel like necklaces are more part of it. This is just my own skewed thoughts. I feel like a necklace is more part of an outfit and a bracelet is more just like a thing that's there, which is not true at all. But I don't even know. That's just like my own thing. Maybe I should check Twitter as well. I'm not really checking Twitter. Oh, good. No one's tweeting me. Except for Will's bro, who, by the way, if you're watching this, hi, you favorite like every one of my tweets. You are so sweet. I see your name all the time. How long did it take for your pump to be approved? How about your Dexcom? So I mentioned this. I don't really know the exact time. It's like Dexcom was a couple months. Pump was even longer. So pump, I had to fight for it. They didn't want to approve it. It's a lot of money. I understand, but it's very necessary. So definitely try not to give up. If they deny you the first time, really, really fight for it. So, yeah. Amanda Brindle says, do you still need to get shots when you wear the pump? For the most part, no. Like, that's the whole point of the pump, is to replace the shots. So you only have short-acting insulin because when you're on shots, you have a long-acting and a short-acting. The long-acting is for the day, you know, cover everything. Short-acting is for meals. But when you're on the pump, you just have short-acting. And to cover the long-acting, to cover the whole day, it just gives a little bit of insulin every couple minutes. And then when you eat, you give more. So unless something malfunctions with the pump, you don't give shots at all. So sometimes if I'm not sure if the reason I'm so high is because of the pump or not, I'll just give a shot. Like, for instance, I go really high for no reason, and I'm like, well, it could be, well, basically for no reason, meaning I don't see my food having been the reason. So like, I'm like, well, the pump could be doing something, like maybe my set's bad, maybe my insulin's bad, something like that. And so I'll give a shot to just kind of take out a variable, like the pump. If it's doing something weird, the shot it'll work, you know. And if the shot doesn't work, then I'm like, okay, it's either I'm being insulin insensitive right now, like I'm sick or something, or the insulin is bad because it's the same insulin, something like that. So only if I'm super high and I want to get down right now, for sure, 100%, then I'll just give a shot. But usually, no, we don't have to. Yeah. Gerper said, I really don't know how to say your username. I'm so sorry. What kind of nurse are you studying to be? What will you specialize in? I'm studying just general, like nursing school is just all nursing, but I want to be a diabetes educator. So the types of nursing in general that I really like, though, the rotations I've really enjoyed have been pediatrics, because I want to be a pediatric diabetes educator, and I love kids. They're my favorite. And then I also liked OB, so labor and delivery and postpartum stuff, because I liked it more than I thought I would. I didn't think I would like it, honestly, because I don't really like gross stuff, like gory or like body fluid, stuff like that. But I really liked it, and obviously there's babies involved in that, and I like babies. So those are the two that I like. So if I can't get a diabetes educator job right away, which is hard to do without any experience, I want to get a pediatric nursing job or a OB, like labor and delivery postpartum job. That's kind of my plan. Kelly G says, have you ever been to Friends for Life at the diabetes conference? If so, did you enjoy it? I'm going this summer, really excited. I haven't been to that one yet. I've been to Students with Diabetes conference. I've been to local diabetes expos, and I've been to American Association of Diabetes Educators. And I feel like, what is one I'm forgetting? And I've been to diabetes camps, but I haven't been to Friends for Life, so let me know how you like it. I've heard great things. I've heard it's a great way to meet other diabetics and bond and just like I was so jealous because Students with Diabetes Conference was this past weekend, and I kept seeing pictures and seeing tweets, and I was super happy for everyone there, but I was also like, man, I wish I was there. That would have been real cool. So if you have conferences in your area, definitely go. Like, they're amazing to just spend time with diabetics and learn more about diabetes, and just, they're a good time. Yeah. Martin Lorca had a 5.8 A1C. That's amazing. That's amazing. Sorry. Haim Hopkins said, it looks like you have sunburns. Be careful, you are too important to the diabetes community. What, I'm going to die from sunburns or something? No, I know sunburns are not good, but I did get a sunburn. I was up on the roof reading and didn't put on sunscreen because I haven't been getting burned in the other days that I've been in the sun, and today was the day that I decided to get burned, I guess. Makes no sense to me. But don't worry, I'm taking care of myself. I'll put on some after sun lotion and it'll be good. That is so sweet, running on insulin. You are a wealth of knowledge, my dear, is what that person said. That is very sweet. Gringos, you proposed a lot of comments, man. Someone you have come to Brazil, question mark? You said you're using Google Translate earlier, so I'm surprised that Google Translate did do that well, because usually Google Translate is not that effective. But I think you said, are you coming to Brazil? Never been to Brazil. Like I said, one of my friends here is from Brazil originally. It sounds really cool. It sounds really pretty. It'd be cool to go. I'd be down. Wow, it's getting late. I'm probably just gonna do this for another like 15-ish minutes, just so you know. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just checking Twitter as well, just in case. Okay. Back to the YouTube comments. I begged Danica's mom, who loves her. My mom's here. She said you should wear your medical alert bracelet. I know. I don't know what happened. I just didn't. I don't know what happened. I really don't. Okay. Type 1 diabetes. God, updated again. Type 1 diabetes said, would you get a medical alert tattoo? You can't forget to put it on then. I wouldn't. Just me personally. Not a big fan of tattoos. That's just a personal preference though. Like, whatever. Get a tattoo if you want. But just when I look at a tattoo, I've never thought, wow, like, that's really pretty. Or like, wow, that looks really good. I don't think they look very good. And I feel like it would bug me to look at my skin and see something there that's like not supposed to be there in my mind. I'd be like, what is that? Like, get off. And knowing that I couldn't take it off would just bug the heck out of me. So I wouldn't get one, but if you have one, like, you do you. Do what you want to do. But yeah, not for me. Let's see. Falsely. Aw. That's really sweet, Emily A1984. She was talking to my mom. She said, you're awesome. I loved you in Parenting a Diabetic and Rudolph the Broken Pancreas. Yeah, she is. She's the best. She's going to be in more videos too, right, Mom? Right? She's going to be in the sick day video and maybe some more. Martin Lorca said, why are you so tanned? It's not a tan, it's a burn. But it'll turn into a tan. It was really sunny. I don't know. That's basically all I can say. And I was in the sun for like 3 hours. Jack Connolly said, if you had a single day off from being a diabetic, what would you do or eat? I would probably not bring a purse with me for the first time in years when I left the house. It would be awesome. I would have to bring nothing with me, really. You know, barring like keys and maybe a debit card, just in case. And is that all? I guess a phone, maybe. Basically, I would not bring a whole purse with me for the first time. And I would drink milkshakes, because sometimes I don't drink a milkshake because I'm like, that'll make me spike like crazy. I would eat a bunch of donuts. I mean, I eat these things anyway, but just in moderation. So I would just, in one day, I would eat all the things. And I don't know, I'd probably do like, I do these things anyway, like I do active things, but I would probably do a bunch of active things in one day because I just could and I wouldn't have to think about it type of thing. Like go whitewater rafting, or I don't know. which I would do anyway. It would just be nice to do it without all the work that goes along with it now. And that's about it. But anyway, Amanda Brindle says, does your pump ever get annoying or painful? It does get annoying sometimes, just because I guess the longer you have it, like I've had it for like 8 years, the longer you have it, the more difficult it is to find new spots to put it, I guess, and like spots that work really well, and I'm working more on rotating better, and just sometimes the sets don't work the best, but I would say taking 6 shots every day is more annoying, which is how many I was taking before I switched to the pump. So I personally think taking that many shots every day is more annoying than just wearing a pump. Painful, excuse me. It's not, no, I mean, like when I insert it, sometimes it's painful, but usually I don't even notice it's there. Yeah. Ron Mustard says, hey, Danica, I'm from the Netherlands. I love your vids. Cool, the Netherlands. Hello. What time is it there? That's cray. Let's see. Melonhead, nice name. Melonhead says, now I have to go up. I can't see it anymore. It updated. Have you ever had your insulin go bad due to heat before? I totally have. The insulin in the actual like pump. So the time when the Pedra stopped working for me was when I lived in New Jersey, and basically like I would take the insulin out of the pump and it would be all cloudy, and I'm like, I realize it's summer, but this shouldn't really be happening. Like obviously I was in the sun all day today, and I don't think my insulin was cloudy. This is no vlog. Yeah, it's not. So maybe that was my issue. Maybe a Pedra just goes bad quicker. Like I think technically a Pedra is like prescribed to be in the pump for 2 days, and this is like 3, I think. So maybe that was it. But yeah, if it's cloudy, I'm like, this thing is bad. I gotta get this out of here, basically. My mom says, proud of you. I love you, mommy. I can't wait for you to come here. And let's see. Oh, Jack Connolly says, following your tutorial to put a Dexcom sensor on my arm, I got many questions about it, mainly asking if it was a nicotine patch. What? Have you ever had any questions on a pump site or sensor? That's so weird that they would think it was a nicotine patch. Like, why would it have a bulging transmitter on it if it was a nicotine patch? I have had weird comments about it. I don't wear it on my arm like that frequently. If I'm wearing short sleeves or something, like I usually will wear it in the winter when I have long sleeves, but like if it's exposed, whatever, it's okay. But I think one of the first times I wore it exposed, someone was like, oh, is the police tracking you or something? It was like this older guy who's, I was at this picnic thing, and he was asking me if it was a police tracker. And I think he was kidding, but you know, he was kidding, but he also was kind of like, what the heck is that type of thing in his head, it seemed like. And I was like, haha, no. And I like think I said what it was. I don't know. That was probably the weirdest comment I got about that, though. But yeah. Emily A. 1984 said to my mom, I love the way you specified diabetic Danica's mom who loves her, as if Danica had another mom who didn't love her. I only have one mom, but she loves me a lot, so she has to put in her username, okay? She just does. She just does. Charlotte 2, now it updated and I can't see it. Okay, there it is. Charlotte Tui says, I'm studying abroad in England this summer and so excited. I feel prepared thanks to your videos. Well, you should be excited. What part of England, actually? I studied abroad in Lancaster University, and it was so amazing. Like, I miss it so much more than I thought I was going to. I don't know. Like, I knew I would have fun, and I knew I would love it, but I made some awesome friends there, and I just really miss being there. So I'm glad that my videos helped you feel prepared. That's really, really great to hear. Okay, I'm only going to be on for 5 more minutes, so get in your really burning questions now, just so you know. I mean, I bet that you are putting your burning questions anyway, but yeah. I feel like, should I scroll to the bottom? I was going in order in the comments, but I guess I will. Kaylee Ebert, I think this question is relevant because it's summer now. Is it summer? To me, it's summer. I don't know when summer actually starts. What would you do if you wanted to go in the pool or water with your CGM? CGM is waterproof, the Dexcom is. So as long as it's clipped in all the way, it's waterproof. And you just don't bring the receiver in with you, obviously. And you just you just go swimming. It's good stuff. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. This is my song. Now you guys are just talking to each other in the comments, and it's real cute. Let's see. Oh, Charlotte is studying in Exeter. What part of England is that? I don't know that up. Is that like northern, southern? Where is it? Exeter, UK. Exeter, UK. So where I studied was northwest England. And I'm going to see where Exeter is now. I'm probably saying it completely wrong as well. Wow, I am very zoomed in. Oh, it's south. Wow, it's way south. So you're like the opposite of where I was. That's crazy. You're gonna love it though. It was amazing. Make friends, have fun, make good choices. Oh, that's a good question. Running on Insulin says, what videos do we have to look forward to? I have 2 videos I'm for sure gonna do next. I'm not sure which one's coming first. I'm going to be doing the update on how I like my arm sets, so I can't tell you now. It's a secret. So yeah, that one to just kind of update you guys on like how it's been going with the arm sets and like what I thought. And then I'm also finally going to review the Genteel, which is the lancing device that says that it's pain-free. And so I want to finally review that because I've had it for a long time and I just haven't reviewed it yet. So I'm definitely going to do that. So yeah. I'm sorry, Kaylee, Ebert. They said, thank you for answering my question. You pronounced my last name wrong, but I don't care right now. You are too nice. Ebert? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to find one more question that I really want to answer. I'm also going to check Twitter real quick just in case. And then I'm going to call it a night. Because an hour, I think, is long. I think it's long enough. It's good. It's good stuff. Jack Connolly, you won the last question. Anyone else on the T-Slim and are excited for the T-Slim with Dexcom in it, scheduled for the end of the year? Because I'm up for new pump. I'm so excited. I actually am excited about that as well. I think the T-Slim is a really cool idea. I really like how it looks, obviously, but I also really like how for entering numbers, you don't have to scroll. Like Animus and Medtronic, you have to scroll through the numbers. T-Slim, you can just poke the numbers, you know, like 54. So much quicker than scrolling all the way up. So I really like that. I don't like, however, I heard it takes a long time to change the set, but I don't know, it could be okay, I guess. I don't know, you have to change the set every 3 days though. It doesn't take that long. But once it gets the Dexcom basically integrated like the Vibe is, I'm kind of considering trying it. I don't know. It seems like a nice pump. We'll see, though. We'll see. I know that wasn't your question, but you did ask if anyone else was excited for that, and I totally am, because I think the more pumps that have integrated Dexcoms, the better. Like, I love Dexcom and I love pumps, so there you go. So yeah, that is my last question that I'm going to answer. I'm sorry if your question wasn't answered. Did the best I could, but thank you so much for joining me tonight. I think I started talking at a normal level again, kind of, almost. If you weren't here at the beginning, I was talking really quietly because my roommates don't know that I have a YouTube channel because they're new. I don't even know if you can hear that. I got new roommates and they don't know that I have a YouTube channel. So I was trying to keep my voice down. But now I'm talking normally, so it doesn't even matter. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope that you guys have a great day, night, evening, and I'll see you soon with a new video. And I have to figure out how to end it. Oh no. Bye. If it'll let me. It's loading.